Hi, my name is Heather and welcome to Strings and Threads. I started last month a new segment called like monthly makes or what I made in a month or monthly roundup, whatever you want to call it. I haven't really come up with any kind of fancy title for it, but it's basically what I've done this month in my crafting. And I had a lot of you comment on the last one like, wow, you did a lot, but I want you to remember this isn't a weekly segment, it's a monthly segment, so it's something that I did, over a month's time, and some of it is the finishing up of whips as well. So I don't know, I feel like it's kind of an average amount if you're a crafter and you really enjoy your craft and you do it as much as you can. For me, crocheting is definitely a stress relief and it helps to keep my anxiety down, and so that's, I do it as much as I can, including on my break at work. So let's just dive right in. I did some stitch tutorials this month. I did the spider stitch tutorial, and then I did a dishcloth tutorial with the spider stitch that turned out like this. And this is nice and big. You can wash dishes, you can wash your body with it, whatever you would like. It's made with cotton, so you can use it in whatever capacity you'd like for cleaning. I did a stitch tutorial for extended single crochet, and then I did something called the black and white scrubby, which is made with the extended single crochet. And this is really nice for washing your face. You could scrub your pots and pans with it as well. So it's made with the Scrubby cotton. And then I did a stitch tutorial for the single crochet mesh stitch. Please forgive me if I'm looking down. I took notes because I didn't want to do this and be like, oh, I forgot to add this, or I forgot what I was going to say about this. So I am referring to my notes just to make sure that I get everything and I say the right thing. So again, that was for the single crochet mesh stitch. So there's a tutorial for that stitch. And then I did a tutorial for Back to Nature dish or washcloth. This one's a little bit smaller, but this is probably a little bit better for washing your face, or having it around for that, like maybe at your sink so that you can wash that. But you can use it to wash whatever you want. There's a single crochet border around it. I love this. Cotton is what I used, and I really do love this cotton. It's very, very soft and it feels great. And then Teresa from Critters Crochet and I are doing a new segment, and it's a monthly segment, and we have somebody new joining us this month. I'm really excited. Jules is joining us, and I'm sorry I forgot to write down her channel name. I think it's Jules Crafts, but I'll link her in my description. She's joining us for the month of May, but what we're doing is we're introducing a new stitch. We'll give a tutorial for that stitch, and then the three of us will come up with our own unique design, crochet pattern design, using that stitch. And then the second Wednesday of the month, we're doing these on Wednesdays. The second Wednesday of the month, we'll give a sneak peek of what we're making and let you guys guess and see if you can guess what we're making. The third week, we will show what we've made, and we'll have a tutorial for what we've made put up. And then we're gonna also put in our community tabs a voting poll up, and you're gonna vote. You can vote on all three of our tabs. You can go vote on mine, then vote on Teresa's, and then vote on Jules for the one that you liked the best. And then this is a 5-month week, so we decided that on the fourth Wednesday, we would just give an update as to where the votes are, where the voting is, who's in the lead, and encourage people who haven't voted to go and vote. On the 5th week, which would be the 4th week if we only had a 4 Wednesday month. But since there's 5 next month, on the 5th week, we will do a live and we'll announce who the winner is, who had the most votes, and then everybody who commented in the poll area, they will get to be put into a drawing to win whatever item got the most votes. So that's how that works. We did this for the month of April, just Teresa and I, just to get it started off. So I did a tutorial for something called the slip stitch rib, and Teresa did the same, but I had that. And then what I made with the slip stitch ridge is a magic egg ditty bag. And here's how that looks. I thought I love the texture, so I wanted to make like an egg with it. And I was thinking at first a dragon egg, but then I had this really nice pink, so I worked it up in the pink, and I thought, you know, I don't have to limit it to just a dragon egg. It can be just a magical egg. It could be a unicorn egg. It could be anything you can imagine, that kind of egg. And so it's a really nice functional ditty bag, lots of space in there. You can put whatever treasures you would want in it. Mine did not get the most votes, so I got to keep mine, but that was a lot of fun, and I'm so excited about this. I hope that if you didn't get the chance to watch it for the month of May, that you'll watch us in June. And if you want to participate, there's a couple ways you can participate. If you're a content creator, you can join us and you can do the tutorial for the stitch and then make up your own pattern for that stitch. If you are interested in that, get in touch with any of the three of us. I'll have Teresa and Jules linked in the description, and you could contact me or either one of them and we'll put you in. And another way you can participate, if you are not a content creator and you wanted to make something using that stitch, once you see our stitch tutorial, you can make something with that stitch and then send any of us pictures, and we will put the pictures of what you've made in our video. We won't do a giveaway with it, but we would be happy to show pictures of what you've made with that stitch. And then if you were watching, it's very helpful to have you vote. So we would love to have lots of people watching and lots of people voting, lots of people excited about this. We are so over the moon excited about this collab. It's just something that's a little bit different, and we're excited to explore the creativity that can be done through this. So another project that I did this month, I've been loving the amigurumi with backpacks. So I did an alien amigurumi with a backpack, and it's a functional backpack. You can open it up and put little treasures in it. And I chose not to sew the backpack on, so the backpack can come off of his arms and just be a backpack. But if you wanted to make the backpack permanent, you could just sew it right onto the body. I have a pattern for this in my Etsy shop, and my Etsy shop is listed in my description below. I do not have a video tutorial for this one. I just don't have time to do video tutorials for everything that I make. So some of them will just be available in PDF form on Etsy. And then I did another amigurumi with a backpack. And I am so in love with this one. My friend Annie from Annie's Crafts, or I think that's what her station name is. I'll list her in my description below. She had suggested this for me because when I was showing some of my amigurumi with backpacks, she goes, what about a nurse? Because she's a nurse. What about a nurse amigurumi with a backpack? So I designed the nurse amigurumi with another functional backpack, and this can be closed tight as well. This is not sewn on. Again, the backpack can come off, or if you wanted to, you could sew it right on the body so it doesn't get lost. But what I loved and had a lot of fun with, I really liked to put the details in this. So as I was doing the hair, I had her hair in a bun, but I thought, wouldn't it look pretty to put a braid around the bun? So that's what I did. And then I took the hair color that I used, the yarn that I used, and I cut some little pieces and I pulled them apart. It was worsted weight and it was 3-ply. And when I pulled them apart, I just kind of attached them on as if she had some wisps of hair that didn't make it into the bun. And then I put little bangs in the front of her. And it was fun designing the mask and figuring out the scrubs. And I actually did it in the colors that Annie said she likes. I didn't use the gray, but she said that she likes the colors gray, cranberry, and green. So I used the red or the cranberry for the mask and then green scrubs. I didn't use the gray, but I was thinking of Annie when I made this nurse amigurumi. And then the last finished thing that I did this month, and there's a story behind this. I know that some of you are going to be very confused when you see this. You're going to say, wait a minute, I thought you were working on a different wearable. There's a story behind that. I'll get to that when I get to my whips. But I used Crystal from Hook That Yarn. I used her top-down design shirt because I'm very comfortable with that design and I can go through it fairly quickly. I had this in my stash and I thought, I'm going to use this. It's really pretty and I've had it for a long time. I got this at Walmart a long time ago, the Pioneer Woman. I think they still sell this. And this colorway is Brilliant Blooms. And I had this one left over. I went through 2 of them for this top. But here's how the top looks. And I'll just put it right over this shirt. Actually, I'll do the magic videoing. So I'll put this up and then when I come back, ooh, dropped my hook. It will be on. So it's hard to get the whole thing in, but it's just a really nice design, very comfortable shirt. It's perfect. You can make it different lengths. I know Crystal has made the top where it's more like a, do they call them belly shirts? You certainly would not want me wearing a belly shirt, but I know that if you were young and able to get away with it, maybe that would be something you would like to make for yourself. I made the sleeves, the short sleeves, a little bit longer than what they are naturally, but it was easy to do that with this kind of yarn. I have done it with other yarns before where the variegation just didn't allow for that, so you had to do the length of the sleeves right away. So that is all of my completed objects, my FOs, finished objects. And for whips, so we'll get right into the shirt ordeal. I was doing a pattern, I should say was, called Cande Pullover. I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure. But she has a lot of really nice designs on Etsy. And her channel, or her name is Nomad Stitches. And it looks like she has a website as well. It says it on the back. She also has a YouTube channel called Nomad Stitches. And I love her designs. I love looking through, but this is the one that I purchased. I loved the lacy design here. It almost looks knitted, but this is a crochet pattern. So I thought that I would like to make this. And so I went to Hobby Lobby and I picked out some yarn for it. Picked out this yarn, Yarn Bee Authentic Hand Dyed. Now, I don't work with this type of yarn very much. So my thought was that there are big blotches of blue, big blotches of white, and that I'd be able to see the design on it because it would be big, like maybe this much blue and then this much white. There would be big stripes. when I looked at it like this, that's what I thought. And then I wound it up, and here's how it looks wound up. Little pieces of white and little pieces of blue and little pieces of white. And I thought, okay, well, let me just work it up and see how it looks. I didn't pull it out, even though I've decided not to make the sweater with this yarn anymore because I was not happy with how it was turning out. I decided not to continue with this. I am going to make the pattern this month though, so don't be too disappointed. This is how it ended up looking. And the lacy pattern has started. You can see where the holes are for it, but you can't see it at all. And so that was extremely disappointing. You could see, almost kind of see where the holes are for the lacy part, but you can't see it at all. So I got to a point, I'm like, I'm not going to keep going with it because it's not what I want. I'm not happy with that. So I just put it in a bag and put it on my shelf, and I said, I'm going to deal with that later. I'm going to have to find a new yarn to do it with. And I kind of put it out of my mind. I didn't think I was going to have a chance to go yarn shopping. But then Tina, our friend Tina, she let me know of Hirschner's having big bags of yarn for good prices. So one of the bags that I bought, I have it over here, was a bag of this Soho Heavenly Cotton. And so I have several of these. I think I have 5 of these that came in the bag. And it doesn't say, but there was more than enough yardage to be able to make the shirt. And I haven't unwound it yet and balled it up, but I think that this would be nice yarn to make with it. So I'm going to give it a second chance using this yarn for the Cande Pullover. So that's the whole big story and deal of that one. All right, something else that's a whip that I can't show you because it's going to be a surprise for December. I finished the pattern for the December Advent crochet along that I'm going to do. It's going to last from December 1st to December 24th. There's going to be a clue every day. Sometime mid-November, I will start letting you know what you need for it if you want to participate in it with me. So the actual pattern is done. I have one made up, and now I want to start filming the segments and just pre-recording them and set them to be released in December. I happen to know, I know a lot of you might think, wow, that's way too early, but I have to keep myself organized in life. I know that my falls are super busy because I have 2 boys in the marching band, so we're constantly going to competitions, to football games, and running all over the place with practices. So I just know that I won't be able to put as much into this in the fall as I can now. So I'm just pre-planning all of that. And I'm hoping that another whip that I have in my mind that hasn't been all the way plotted out yet is I'm also going to do a crochet along Advent for my Patreon members. If you're interested in that, I have a link to my Patreon in my description. There's lots of benefits to that. You get at least 2 free patterns every month, and you also can be put into a giveaway. Occasionally, if I have a bunch of things, like I had just made a bunch of minis last month, instead of doing a giveaway, I ended up just giving everybody who was a Patreon member 2 of the minis. Not 1, 2 of them. So everybody got a prize last month. So occasionally that will happen. When I do my Advent for Patreon, it is going to be a little bit different. Instead of you get the materials and then there's a clue every day, I'm going to make December's giveaway just to be that Advent as a package, and you'll get all the yarn, all the supplies that you need to make that Advent, and then clues, one for there'll be 24 clues, and then the last day you'll just get a complete pattern for the whole thing. So that's how it's going to work for my Patreon. The one for YouTube, you'll have to supply your own yarn and everything for it. You'll just follow the clues each day. So it should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, so this month I was able to complete the pattern for the one on YouTube. I just need to break it down now into 24 sections and film it. And then I know what I'm going to do for Patreon, but I have not made the pattern for it yet. So I'm hoping that this month I'll have more to show for that. I will have started that. Not more to show because I'm not going to actually show it. I don't want to spoil the surprise, but I'm hoping that I'll have started it. At least started that pattern. So another thing that I can't show you that's a whip is the project for May for Battle of the Stitches. But I actually had that completed. When I saw what the stitch was, in my mind, I already knew what I wanted to make with that stitch. So it was really quick for me. I just popped it out. And so I have those pre-recorded to be put out. I have the stitch tutorial already pre-recorded for Wednesday, May 1st. And then I have the tutorial for the item that I made with that stitch set for the third Wednesday of May. So I'm really excited that that is already done. I've already started working on June's. Actually, June's is close, really close to being done. And then July, don't kill me, Teresa. I just got really excited about this. When I see the stitches, it just really inspires me. And so I was really excited about that. So I actually know what I'm making for July as well. And I started that. I'm really excited about Battle of the Stitches. If you didn't notice, I'm hoping other people can get excited about this too. Okay, and then I have progress for the donations. I want to do the donations sometime mid-May. I know that I still have 2 people that have told me they're going to send squares, so don't panic when I show you and you haven't seen the squares yet. I know that 2 more people had said they were going to donate some more squares that I could put together as blankets. What I'm doing is I'm making lap gans that I'm going to donate to my local cancer center, and they give them away to the people who are getting chemo treatments, and they can have them and wear them over their lap while they're getting their treatments, as a comfort to keep them warm, whatever they need it for. And I also had Linda who donated 2 complete blankets, and that's really exciting. So I'm going to show you everything I have so far. I think last month I already showed you the one blanket that I made. I made this one, and I think I have a tutorial for it on my tutorial list called Lap Gans Tutorials. Lap Gan / blanket tutorials. I think I might have them together. But I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I hope that somebody can feel a lot of comfort and happiness to get this when they're going through a hard time. I can't imagine that it's easy to be going through chemo, and I'm sure that some of you have experienced that. So I just want to try and make a bright spot for somebody who is going through that. This was made by Linda, and I just put a single crochet border on it, but this is actually Tunisian crocheted. I'll put it up closer so that you could see her beautiful work. She has really beautiful Tunisian stitches. Excuse me. And this will be a really nice lap gan. The material is very comfortable and soft, and I think somebody will be really happy to have that. And hopefully, again, it will brighten, it'll be a bright spot in their day. This is also done by Linda. Linda sent me this for donation. I'm hoping that this month when I go to the cancer center, I can record at least going. I'll ask them if I can record more than that, like going in, but I will at least record my trip out there so that you can see that everything is going where it's supposed to go. But this is another, I don't know if I said it, this is another Tunisian blanket, lap blanket. And this is absolutely gorgeous. This already had a really beautiful border on it. So there you go. You can see those stitches. And this will hopefully, one thing I really like about this is the color, because it's very neutral, and so anybody can enjoy this one. This one could be for anybody. I think it was just one of those things where I'm so sick of working on this that I almost forgot to show it to you because I'm over it. But I started this blanket for the donation for the lapgans. I started it, maybe it was last month, and I've been working on it forever. It uses the alpine stitch, which is absolutely gorgeous, but it is taking forever for me to make it. It's such a slow moving one. So here's the progress with it. I am going to be honest with you, this is going to be such a relief when it's over. So here it is. It is still not a lapgan size. I am hoping to finish this as soon as possible. But here's how it looks. Has a really pretty stitch with it. So hopefully that will be an FO next month. I might have to remember to take a picture of it or something when it's done, because I do want to do my donations mid-May. So I'll have to remember to pre-record some of these that I finish for that. And then Deb had sent me some squares, and I added a few squares to it. I don't think it's quite enough yet for a lapgan, but again, I know that there are 2 more of you that have said that early May they were going to send some squares. So hopefully I can make a few more squares, and then I'll receive some squares and we can make a really beautiful blanket with that. And then Deb also sent me the yarn for this, and I don't know where I have it right now, but I used up one skein and then she sent me a second skein of it. And so this is what I've made so far, a bunch of them. This is the all-in-one granny yarn, granny square yarn. And this should make, Tina had said she was going to send me 2 skeins of this already made up as well. She got the same colorway. And so we should be able to make at least 1 lapgan with that. If there are some left over, I can put it in with our eclectic one. I think this one is going to be so much fun with all the different colors and all the different designs on it. I'm so excited. And then I started working on this last month, but I wanted to make a shawl for one of my coworkers for the end of the year. And I was using Big Twist Vista in the colorway Driftwood. And I'm being really careful to show you this to you because I ran out and they're not making this anymore. So I wanted to ask if anybody has one of these laying around, because I was not able to finish it. Then I would ask, can I buy it from you or do a trade with you for that? I'll show you what I have so far. This is all that I have left. And this is what I've made so far. So it's really pretty, it's really lacy, but it's not quite big enough. One thing I suppose it could be, there are 2 things I was thinking. It could just be maybe some kind of scarf. It could just kind of go over your shoulders like this, which is probably what I would do. The last thing I was thinking is that I could sew up the sleeves here. And then it could be, I guess they call that a shawlette. And then this is how it would look in the back. I think that's really pretty. I think if I'm not able to get more of this, that's what I'm leaning toward. Let me know your opinion. What do you think? If I'm not able to get more of this yarn, should I just give up, or should I make it one of the three things, a scarf, or just leave it to be a shawl like this? or sew up the sleeves for a shawlette? What are your opinions on that? This is just so pretty. I almost want to keep it for myself, but I do want to give this to her. She has been really, really great to work with this year. Let me see if there's anything else. Oh, I am planning this month. My friend Kenyatta wanted to have a pattern for a zombie head ditty / dice bag, a gray zombie head. So I haven't figured that out yet, but that's something that I plan on figuring out this month and making a pattern for, and hopefully it will turn out well. I've been looking at pictures and trying to come up in my mind with how I want to put that together. So thank you for watching, and if you made it to the end, you're amazing. Thank you so much for watching this whole thing. I really appreciate all of you for your support and for all of the help that you give me, all of the friendships you've given me. I've heard so many other YouTubers say all of these horror stories, and I feel so grateful that I haven't had any of those, that I've only had positive interactions, and you all are so nice to me, and it keeps me going. It keeps me wanting to stick with this and keep going. I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.